get started right away. First on our agenda is the Dean, Dean Kim Metnut. I'm going to have him speak to you and welcome you, but I am so happy to have you all here. We're having an exciting day. We'll be doing lunch, as you can see from the agenda. We are going to get started. We have a lot of people coming to talk to us about what's coming up in the courses. I think it's going to be an exciting year. There is so much growth and potential here. And I'm ready to run that train straight forward, and I'm hoping that everybody is along for the ride. Okay? So here you are. Thank you.
Thank you, Nicole. Can we give Nicole a round of applause? She's done a wonderful job as the intern coordinator for OLLI, and she's been a wonderful selection. I know a lot of you that have been working with her before she stepped into that role. She's earning her master's here at Cal State Dominguez Hills in NCRP, which is alphabet soup for negotiation, conflict resolution, and peace building. That's right. And we all need a lot more peace building in the world today. Yeah. A lot of you are our regular members, and I'll get with you in a moment, but I wanted to just make my announcement short, just give you a quick few updates, and then I have a little trivia game we'll play for our guests that are here today. So I want to thank you all for being here. I don't get a lot of fun parts of my job, but these sorts of things really are fun for me, getting to speak to large groups of folks about all the wonderful things we do at Cal State Dominguez Hills, and specifically here in the College of Extended and International Education. We have our own classroom buildings, as many of you know. These are ours. This is our auditorium. We have our own administration building to my left, and to the right we have our own in-house registration building as well. I like to call us the Swiss Army knife of higher ed, and that's because, you know, if any of you know what a Swiss Army knife is, it has scissors, it has a knife, it has a can opener, it has a screwdriver. Well, that's what we do here at Extended Ed. We have more than 50 different programs, credit and non-credit, that we offer to the general public, including OLLI. OLLI is a part of that mix. I'm also a big believer in, a lot of you are familiar with the term K through 12 education, K through 16. Well, some of my longtime members here have heard me say this as well. I'm a proponent of K through 100 education, lifelong learning. And the reason I say that, it was a year or so ago, I had someone come up to me afterwards, and I used to say K through 80 education. And she said, you know, Dean McNutt, I take umbrage with what you said about K through 80 education. And I said, I'm sorry, well, why is that? And she said, well, I'm 95 years old and I'm still coming to OLLI courses here at Dominguez Hills. So, wow, that was awesome. She wasn't at home watching Wheel of Fortune or Jeopardy or all the other stereotypical things people think our senior citizens do, so I was very happy to hear that. For those of you familiar, there's been a lot of construction going on campus. The new science building is complete. It'll be open in the fall of 2020. The reason I bring that up, it's over by the library if you want to know what that is. And our college contributed $5 million in revenue towards the construction of that building. So we've contributed thanks to the students that come to our programs here. And then there's also a new business building going up adjacent to Welch Hall, where the president's office and other administrative offices are. And our college has contributed $2 million to that building. So not only do we provide access to education for non-traditional adult and senior learners, but we also provide money back to the university, which makes me very proud. A couple of other announcements. You see all this cardboard boxes here. I've always tried to provide the best services that we can possibly afford. Facilities, this room here has been completely redone. We have energy efficient lighting. This is a brand new $30,000 sound system that we've installed. We want to give our students a really good experience and our guests. But going back to that, we're going to be reflooring all of our classrooms in this building to get rid of the carpeting, which, as you know, is subject to staining, and putting in the wood flooring laminate. So I'm very excited by that. So you'll be seeing some changes and some construction activity, but don't be alarmed. It's all for the good. And let's see, new flooring, new building. I'm also big on branding. For those of you that are not familiar, if you go right outside here, and for housekeeping, the restrooms are just right across the hall here, out this side doors. We put this big wall branding signage on the wall, because a lot of times people don't know all the things that we do here, so I'm very proud of that. So as you step out, you'll see some pictures and course descriptions of all the things that we do. And again, we also are affiliated with Unveil, and we have a Beach Cities location, It's over in Redondo at the UCLA Beach Cities Health District. If anybody know where that is, off of 190th and Prospect, roughly. The old hospital, thank you. Very proud of that facility. It's available for ambulatory use by day. And then at night, I use it as a satellite location where we offer project management, human resource management, other training type programs in the evenings there for working professionals who can't make it down to Carson. So again, I'm very passionate about what we do. I love what we do. I'm so glad to see all of you here, our existing members, because without you, we are really heavily dependent on our volunteer team here. And so we're glad that you're here. And for the newbies, and Nicole had a great idea. She said, as most do in church when you have a new guest, will all of our new guests here today, that this is your first time here, would you please either stand up or raise your hand?
Don't be shy. Ooh, wow.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, just for you only then, I'm going to have a trivia game, and then I'll wrap up my comments and turn it back over to Nicole. Again, this is just for the new guests here today. And we'll be giving away one of what I love to call one of our premium gifts. We have these, we don't make very many of these, but it's a really nice backpack with the CSUDH logo and then the college branding. And I give these out to various events and events like this. So for you alone, the newbies, you can see this. I'd like someone to give me the full correct name of the Dominguez Hills mascot. You have to shout it out because I gotta hear it. You're close, but I said the full name. The mascot has a full name. He has a name. It's Blank the Toro. That's right. Teddy the Toro. That's right. And that was tough, but I didn't hear you, Nicole. No, thank you. Well, welcome. You're going to have a wonderful day. I'll try to pop in throughout the day if I can. We got to run to college. The last thing I'll say, just for those that don't know, you'll be hearing from, I think, Marilyn later today.
Yes.
She'll talk to you about the membership and giving. Our college is the only one on campus that is truly self-support. And by that I mean, when I talked about the dollars that we generate and provide back to campus, Governor Gavin Newsom does not write us a check every year and fund our college. President Thomas Parham does not provide us funding. My boss, the provost, doesn't fund our college. Everything that pays my salary, Nicole, the lighting here, the rent, the custodian, the furniture, everything that we have here is paid for by students taking our programs. And that's what it means by self-support. We're not state supported by any stretch. I love it because it's like running a small education enterprise, and that's what state support. So again, welcome. This is awesome to see a full house. Nicole, thank you, and I'll turn it back over to you.
Not every campus has an OLLI program, and I'm sure you all are aware of it. Some of you have been OLLI members much longer than I've been, but I know that lifelong learning, I definitely also have a passion for, and I know that extended education programs don't all have this type of program, and so I think that that's wonderful. We're on the same par as Emory. You know, my mom is an Emory OLLI member, OLLI member, so that's really wonderful in Atlanta, Georgia. First, I'd like to know, if you have an empty seat, just raise your hand because, you know, we're a full house, which is really wonderful, but we want to make sure that we get everyone in here. And something else I mentioned, I said my mom flew in here from Atlanta, Georgia. Miss Rosetta Haywood, please bring me. You had an opportunity to meet my sister, so we keep it in the family, as you see, so I'm really glad. Thank you, Mom, for your support. Next, I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Linda Wilson.
Really honored that the Osher Foundation has given us enough, support over the years. And I just see this, like Nicole said, this has the potential for so much excitement, the new programs. It's just looking in like a really great. I know the catalog just was posted online. It'll come out in paper form soon. So without any further delay, enjoy the day. Thank you for coming to Cal State Dominguez Hills, and hopefully the newbies will become members very soon.
Wilson. I know that Dr. Wilson is always supportive, very supportive of me. You don't see her often, but I'm always going to her for advice. I'm always in her office speaking to her, so she's heavily involved here. She was also at UCLA college, so she's with a communication background, so she helps me with the catalog, and she's my mentor. So, helping me get through this master's program. So what I'm going to be doing is just going through the rough draft of the catalog. One of the things that we've always had problems with, and we know going in the forward, we're going to have some issues. And that is the fact that parking is an issue. But Fridays happens to be one of the lighter days. Now, we were thinking about, that's okay. What we were thinking about, we were planning to hold open house on a Saturday. Fortunately, this Saturday it's really full with all of the programs that the dean is going to be speaking about. We're having open house there. So we made the decision to move it to today. When I came in, I was so pleased and surprised that you all were able to, I said, they're going to be able to find parking. That's great. And another thing, if you did forget your OLLI pass, today is free parking. So we're in that same period. The first 2 weeks are free parking. So we have to look about this and start considering, and we will be considering these changes as far as making more classes on Fridays, possibly making them earlier, so that we don't have to worry about the parking issues. Okay? So I know the white elephant in the room right now is, where is the catalog? Why don't we have the catalog? So let's address that question right now. Because of the changes that we made. There was an adjustment period. We're grateful that the catalog is available right now. It just won't be available in your hands. But we're all savvy. We're computer literate, so we can go to the computer and take a look online. Have you noticed Extended Ed, you can't register online, but you can on the university side. So soon we'll have that option where you won't have to come in, you won't have to fax in your registration, you won't have to call, you'll be able to click online and register immediately online. So that's going to help us a lot with the class wait list, with classes being full, with individuals on the first time, first basis. So that will be very helpful to everyone. So this semester, let's start here. Black History Month, we're bringing Black History Month. One of the things that we'll be doing in your weekly emails, in your weekly updates, are people receiving those?
Yeah.
Okay. If you do have a problem or you're not receiving those, just let us know and we'll update that. One of the things is, I'm seeing you're receiving it, but you're not opening it. I can tell. Did you know that? I can tell who clicks, I can tell who opens it, I can tell who trashes it. So if it's not getting to you, and you're not opening it, I'm not doing right by you're not getting the information I need you to get. If you notice there's a questionnaire there, I'm hoping everybody will fill it out. It's so I can address how to best reach you. One of the things that sometimes terminologies with IT, we get a little bit confused and what is what. So this summer, I have an IT person who's agreed to be doing, we have the rolling computers, so we'll be bringing that class. And maybe we'll discuss some of the mobile apps that we can look at, and maybe that will be part of the class that we do. So I believe just by looking at it, it's only about 6% are actually looking at it. So I'm sending it out to everybody, but not everybody is getting the information and finding out what's going on. So in there, what you'll notice is that we're going to be bringing you not only the things that will be happening in OLLI, but we'll also be bringing you information that is happening on campus. For example, Black History Month is happening on campus. It's not only OLLI who does that, but the entire campus gets involved. And as you can see right here, we have, you've met Dr. Salim before. He's been here, Bahari, excuse me, Dr. Nichols. Dr. Nichols will be returning. She'll be actually doing 2 OSHA lecture series for us, one in Black History Month and one in Asian Pacific Islander Month. We're able to kick off the Asian Pacific Islander Month. And although Hispanic Heritage is in October, September, October, we will be bringing in ideas and cultural points of interest in the spring. We're also going to be looking at it in the national part of it and speaking of it there. So that's going to be it. Did I see a hand? And by the way, if anybody has any questions for me, I like hands, and I don't mind questions. I ask a lot of questions. All right. One of the other things that I'm excited about is the body paper. We have a Fulbright scholar. She's a Fulbright scholar. She came through, she's a Filipino-American, and she was born after World War II. She's going to be discussing her life, and she's also part of the campus. This is another part of the collaboration with the campus, the Multicultural Center, Asian Pacific Cultural Studies. This is the first time that they've had a standalone opportunity to have their own cultural. They've always been classes added as electives, but now you can receive a minor in Asian Pacific Studies. So we're really collaborating with them to bring awareness here. Okay. Did those copies come? New member orientation. For our new members, I won't have you raise your hand again, but something that we've been doing, and Mary Ann will be maybe touching on this briefly. We'll our committee members also be speaking about this later on. But new members orientation, we hope that recently joined members within the last year, if you haven't had an opportunity to come before, what we do here is we give you a more in-depth about what OLLI is. We bring in other departments. I think last year SLICE came, the Service Learning Institute for Community Engagement. They received an Obama Award. If you noticed last week, I put a notice in the weekly emails for you. They need plastic bags. They'll be crocheting. Our crocheting club might want to think about this. They'll be crocheting sleeping bags for the homeless. And that's a project that the school, see, it was in your email. But they'll be doing projects for the homeless. So that's a way that OLLI can still become involved and engage with the campus. You not only are helping the community, but you're also helping support a student's goal, and also for ourselves, and that learning and that desire that we often have to give. So new member orientation, there you will have an opportunity to go on a campus tour. On the campus tour, we'll see different parts of the construction. I don't know how many people have traveled over now with the new building. Has anyone seen across from the library yet, that building? It's finished. I think there was a grand, beam ceremony signing maybe about a month ago, but that's been put up. So you'll be able to see that. Also take a look at the Older Adult Center. Some of you who might take extra classes here online, either online here on campus or audit those courses, the Older Adult Center is a great place for resources there. They also will be doing additional lectures. I'll make sure that we are included in that and that we begin collaboration with them also. Here, let's talk about save the date for eating healthy with diabetes in the grocery store. Here, I want you to know you have two choices. Either March 13th, is it and? No, it's not. It shouldn't be and, or March 31st. There is a minimum for either of those classes. It's not and, it should be or. March 13th or March 31st. So if there is not a minimum, make note that the class may cancel, so we may send you a notice of that. I believe it's a minimum of 7. Yes, a minimum of 7, a maximum of 10. But there you'll be actually going to Vaughn's grocery store and shopping, or at least getting a shopping list and information for how to shop if you do live with diabetes. Maria Enriquez, this is part of our Cultural Heritage Month. We're trying to, again, raise awareness of the community that's here on campus, the community and our surrounding community, and raise our own awareness. Maria invites you to attend a Mexican cultural presentation. The topics to be discussed are food, art, literature, roots, identity, and the influences of other countries of Mexican culture. That's March 4th, Wednesday at 10 a.m. to 11:30. The course, there's a fee of $5, and that's for your course materials. From 10 a.m. until 11:30 again, room 1222. The paper catalogs will come to you in the mail. You will be able to go to them online, and you will be able to look at the Google Calendar, but they are not here today. But expect your catalogs in the mail to you at your doorstep by midweek. I said Wednesday, by midweek.
When will it be online?
I should be putting it online
Today? Today. This afternoon, night.
Registration is going to begin after today in the back, 30 minutes in the back. They're taking registration here. Ms. Strahan.
That was my question.
Okay, yes. We actually have Jamie, she'll be addressing everyone. So while you're waiting, if you fill out your forms completely, and then we'll be able to process you quickly. Yes, ma'am, Miss.
Is it, the catalog is online now?
No. Yes? Ms. Elaine?
So registration after this is over here, you can't go over to.
Here, in the corner. We're asking that we don't want to swamp them, they're in a tight space. This is the first week of class, or second week of class, actually. And so you know, our open house is in line with the way it's normally been within that same week. But what ends up happening is they become swamped. We weren't sure why before they had been taken out of the room, and by their request, we brought them back in the room. So I'm trying to honor that department's request and getting them, because they're, you know, they get swamped and bogged down. LA Opera Talks, that's been here a couple of times, LA Opera Talks in the community, and it's returning. We have a new presenter this year, Monday, February 3rd, from 10 a.m. to 12, again, here in this room. Another thing, free to all members, free to all our members. Abstract silk handbag scarfing, I know Ms. Yolanda's here, but I don't know if she wants to talk, we hadn't mentioned it. Would you care to speak about it, Ms. Yolanda? Thank you.
It's $20, and you don't have to have anything to bring for this class. I provide everything. And you will be painting on a scarf that you can use on your handbag or your wrist. It's not long enough for your neck, but it's 24 inches by 6 inches. So if you take Rick's class, and you're a great painter in his class, you can paint whatever you paint there on your scarves. You can do abstract, or you can actually trace something on the scarf, because you'll use a resist for the lines. But that's in February, which is coming up soon. So if you want to take that class, then sign up and join. It's the first one on the list of the one they just passed out, for abstract painting.
And then we're going to do the next one.
Okay, and then in April, I have knitting a sterling silver bracelet. So I don't know if you can kind of see this, but it's chain knitted. So you'll be partially chain knitting part of the bracelet, and then the rest of it will be wrapping gemstones. And I provide the sterling silver wire and the semi-precious gemstones. So you'll be using real materials. You will have to purchase a jewelry set, either from Joann's or Michael's, and one set is $12.99, the other one's $9.99. Then use a 50% coupon, and you get it half off. You don't have to pay even that much. But the tools is some little plier tools. You know, I don't have enough for 10 people, so you will purchase that. But get it at half price, so it'll be 6 something plus tax and 5 something plus tax. So that's in April. So I hope to see, you know, you crafters come with your ideals.
Okay, the knitting, 2 Mondays, April 20th and 27th. Room 1201.
Norma Bates. That is my real name, Norma Bates. And I facilitate crafts with Norma. Most of you know me. I've been an ambassador here for 11 years, and this will be my 3rd year teaching crafts. Although it will be different this year. Normally, I provide everything. I'm going cheap this time. I'm not providing any of those things. I will provide the paper. So I have brought some of the things that you will need to purchase yourself if you're planning on taking my class. We make a lot of things in the class. We don't make one thing. We make a lot of things. So I brought some to show you. If you're interested in taking my class, come see me in the back, and I'll show you what you need to have for the very first class, the 2nd class, the 3rd class, and the 4th class. Okay?
So Mario is here again. I'm going to introduce Mario, and since we all know him, he was very helpful with my sister too, giving her feedback for her documentary. She was an amateur documentarist. If I can say that? Yeah. All right, good. That's a word. So she really received great feedback. I'm really excited. I first met you, Mario, when you came to my class as an undergraduate at NCRP, and we got to touch your award.
Right,
So,
right.
Oh, that doesn't sound right. Your image. Okay. So here, Mario, you take it away before I say it.
All right. I'm going to be presenting this time a movie about Neil Macaulay that I have recently finished. I'm a filmmaker. I'm a professor here at Cal State Mingus Hills, and I teach visual media arts. And I make documentaries for PBS. And this is one of the shows that we have done for PBS, and I would like to share this semester with you, for the people who want to come, this particular program that I have. Currently, I'm doing a documentary about the 1910 aviation meet here in Los Angeles that put this university in a historical perspective. And that's the first aviation meet that happened here in the West Coast, and I'm halfway through. So I'm conducting interviews and working on the research and the B-roll and all that stuff. So anyhow, we're going to be talking about Cuba. And Neil was a graduate from the Citadel here in the United States, and he became part of the Cuban Revolution. So he was an American actually fighting for the Cuban Revolution. And that's what this documentary is about. Okay? It's a 60-minute documentary. So that's what I have to say. Questions? All right, let's go to the next one.
Really, the first class, did you know that? Monday,
Yeah,
January
yeah.
27th? Okay. That's my mother's birthday too. Can I sing happy birthday to you now? At the end, I'm gonna sing happy birthday to you. Will you guys join me?
Yeah.
I used to when I worked. Remember back then? When I worked, I used to get those big gigantic cards and have everybody in my office, they didn't know who she was, but I'd have everybody in my office in Chicago sign it to her, and I'd send it to her. So that's how I used to do it. Of the OLLI Conversation. Now, what's in the catalog is a course that is planned. You will receive some save for the dates for, I don't know how many of you have helped before with the visiting Chinese students. They come in the orange vest. So we have about 70 of them coming again. That's not part of this. So again, that's why it's important to click on that email so that you can see what's happening today, because we really are hoping that you're able to participate, not only in that, but this right here. I'm going to bring up Melvin. Melvin is one of the facilitators for this particular course. This course that we're talking about is OLLI ESL Conversation Partners. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Mel Spears. I've been a member for a number of years. Volunteered for the second language volunteer program.
Yeah, a little closer.
Sorry. a clue's going around, so you have to be careful. English is a second language. When the Chinese students come to visit Cal State Dominguez Hills, volunteers are requested to come and speak English with them. There is no requirement for Mandarin or Cantonese or anything. It's just sharing conversation with the students. In most cases, these are middle school and maybe a few high school students. Again, they're children, so you talk about what children like to talk about, the music, the sports, what they do. You explain a little bit about yourself. In my case, I'm a retired engineer, so I tell them about what I did. They ask me questions, I ask them questions, and it's just a general conversation and exchange of ideas that they can have like a cultural exchange program. We don't get into religion or politics, you know, or Taiwan or Hong Kong or anything like that. But we just talk, just like you would talk with your grandchildren or some young people. Okay, any questions? Thank you.
No, but am I correct, this year you'll be actually in the classrooms, correct? Yes, you'll be in the classrooms will you be training or teaching alongside the ASL teachers, or how does that go?
I believe Dr. Kasner has regular teachers, secondary school teachers will be in the class with the volunteers. There will also be chaperones. So if there's any confusion about words or what have you, the chaperone can help translate. The students will also have course information in English presented by the teachers, regular certified teachers. I think they're Long Beach Unified School District teachers, and they'll be in the classroom too. So don't feel like you're just in a classroom with 6 or 8 or 10 kids who are speaking Chinese and you're speaking English.
Thank you, Melvin. I appreciate that. I want to talk a little bit more about this particular class, because the class Melvin is speaking about, or the opportunity Melvin is speaking about, that is going to be an RSVP. So that's outside of this. This right here, the college students. So how many of you participated in the international studies or international potluck? No, the potluck, the Thanksgiving potluck where we make. So those students here, sometimes they need extra help in languages and art. You see them often in their courses right next door to us. They're college students. Some of them are 18, some are older. It all depends, it varies. They come from different countries. They have different backgrounds. What we're doing is, as part of this, and you also see with Fun Supernaut, so these are the students that we'll actually be sitting down with for 8 Mondays between that particular time, 9 to 11 a.m., from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. And in this particular course, you'll be teaching alongside the instructors. So we're coming up with a curriculum for you to follow. It's not going to be in depth. It's meant to engage conversations so that the individual will have a better grasp of the English language. Oh, I don't even have a grasp of it. So, if you are interested, I'm hoping that you will attend this one. This is another, I'm really big on volunteering, and we're going to be talking about that, right? Not only as part of OLLI do we get to experience our own growth, but we also get to pass our knowledge on to the university, making for such a wonderful generation. We talk about oftentimes, my mother and I had this conversation about what other generations don't do for the next generation. Well, not only should we be expecting it from those behind us, but those in front also have to give back. So mentors need mentees. It's a dual relationship. And that's what I'm hoping that we can, bring out here in OLLI. So course number 23954. Next, we're going to move on to Ms. Strahan. How many of you enjoyed or attended Ms. Strahan's How to casting? Has anybody ever? Yes. So a couple water players are coming to join us, and Ms. Strahan is going to talk to us about that.
Different. Some of you saw us, we came before, we did Guys and Dolls. And I was Adelaide, you know, a poison can develop a cold. But anyway, now we also have South Pacific. That's what's on the list. We're doing South Pacific on Bloody Mary, and I do Valley High and Happy Talk. And we have some Enchanted Evening. We're a group of 6 players, 3 men, 3 women. We're all seniors. And we take a donation, so that's why part of the fee is for. We don't actually charge, but we just take donations. We go to nursing homes all throughout the city, and we've actually been to Reno and performed, and we do musical theater. So it's the whole show in an hour, only 1 hour. And last time we had a question and answer period too afterwards, so we'll probably do that again. And I don't know, it's all the songs from Some Enchant, you know, from South Pacific. And Wash That Man Right Out of Our Hair. And we have our choreography, you know, and all that stuff. So some of you missed Guys and Dolls last time. We're coming back with South Pacific this time. We have a whole storyline from beginning to end. And that's pretty much it, I think. Yes.
This is for Nicole. That's not on the...
Yes, it is. It's
South Pacific,
South
S,
Pacific.
under S.
So everything is listed alphabetically.
So South Pacific is not a talk on living in the South Pacific. It's actually the play, South Pacific. And the date, do you have the date actually?
Your date, Thursday, April 23rd, from 10 a.m. to 12 noon. It's here in this room, 1213.
So you have $5 up there and $20.
Yes, sir. I just heard.
Yeah, that South Pacific is on some lists and it's not on all lists.
Okay, so, ma'am, the issue is this. Registration had one thing that's, I think some people received, but the correct copy was distributed here. So the first thing that should be on your list is abstract silk handbag scarf painting in alphabetical order. It is $5. It is $5. Mark $5. If you have anything, if registration indicates anything different, they'll check with me and we'll make sure that it is correct.
Well, actually, on the picture I see, we are actually there. That is us. There I am, right there, Bloody Mary. Yes, I do Valley High, I do Happy Talk, and we have a lot of fun, and I hope you'll have a lot of fun too. It's 2 hours, so the first hour we just do the show for an hour, and then the second hour is just question and answers. If you have any questions about us, a cup of water. Oh, we're going to be working on a new show. See, Sunday we have our first read through for My Fair Lady. So we're not sure we're going to really do it. Some people said they didn't want to do it, some do. So that might be our next show, My Fair Lady.
Thank you. All right, next up we have Ms. Denise. Ms. Denise is your TED Talk presenter.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. I'm the facilitator for TED Talks. TED is an acronym for Technology, Entertainment, and Design. And what we do is that we watch, let me tell you where it started. Back in 1984, I'm going to tell you the long story. But back in 1984, this guy had conferences with technology and design. And they were boring. They were like for an hour, hour and a half, or whatever, and he seen people getting bored. He said he didn't think nobody's attention span lasts no longer than 18 minutes. So he started TED Talks, and people talked about things that was interesting to them and would be interesting to other people for 18 minutes. So what we do in our class is we watch something on TED Talks for about 18 minutes, and then we discuss it. It's very interesting. We have different ideas. We talk about things that happen in our lives, and I mean, we just exchange, some good conversation. And it opens your eyes about things that you may have never thought about before. Last year we did how to stop screwing yourself over, how to get what you want. We did how to live passionately no matter your age. Hey, it's not about you. How I'm preparing to get Alzheimer's. Get comfortable with being uncomfortable. Inside the mind of a procrastinator. And no, you cannot touch my hair. This year, we're doing how to humor your stress, how to speak to people that don't want to listen, the case of optimism on climate change, from clutter to clarity, how to manage compassion, fatigue, and caregiving, 3 questions to ask yourself about everything you do, dare to say no, and how to spot a liar. Now, a lot of these, our last class gave suggestions on some of them, and we start March 30th. We meet on Mondays. It's called like a lunchtime TED Talk, so you can bring your lunch if you want. We start on Mondays from 12 to 12:50. So we watch our little thing, our little talk, and then we start talking about it. So we would like more people to come. I think everybody that was there found it very interesting last time. And then we found out a lot about ourselves, our families, you know, we just shared everything. Some things were sad, some things were happy, and you know, we even found out how somebody to come to your house and paint stuff at a discount. So I mean, you know, we have good talks. We have really good talks. So I would invite you all to come out, starting March 30th, and we have 8 sessions, and it's just less than an hour. So we have fun, okay? Thank you.
While we're waiting and doing this information, new members orientation and welcome. We did talk about this earlier today, but for new members, while I have this up, I want to talk about some other things, and that's parking. In case you haven't received your parking pass, we are fortunate enough to have a reduced parking rate, $20 for the year. The year begins July 1st, ends June 30th. For those members who are just now coming in, it's a simple process. You see myself or Hema in the office facing this way to my left. You receive a parking form. You take that parking form across the street to the cashiers. The cashier hands you a parking plaque. That parking plaque is placed on your window. Yes, ma'am, Ms. Ewing.
Cashiers in Welch Hall.
Cashiers in Welch Hall. Thank you, Ms. Ewing. Cashiers in Welch Hall on the 2nd floor. That's one of the great things for new member orientation is that we'll have a campus tour and you're able to see where to get to different places. And that's happening next week. So please contact our office by email or by phone 310-243-3208. Now, I know with the new transition, I want to talk about this too. With the new transition, there might have been some lost communications. I'm understanding that people are not receiving phone calls or emails back. If you need to reach me, please email me. I will not be giving out my cell phone number. You want me to graduate, don't you? But I'm always available through email. I keep it on constantly. So through the phone here, the direct line 310-243-3208. 310-243-3208. 310-243-3208. You may also, we're going to show you where Welch Hall is.
So for those of you who are not familiar with the campus, right now you are sitting right in this spot in our building. This is the parking lot here, lot 3, and Welch Hall is right over here, and the cashier's office is right on the 2nd floor, just underneath where it says Toro Copy Center. Has anybody had difficulty trying to get to that location? Just want to make sure you guys know where to find it. Not take credit card. It's cash or check or money order. And there is a Wells Fargo ATM on the 1st floor of Welch Hall, and there's a full Wells Fargo branch in Loker Student Union right in here. Right inside the student union. Yes.
For clarity.
Say it again.
For clarity. If it was me who was showing me that, I don't think it was.
Yeah, so
But can you just?
Welch Hall is the big building, the white three-story building right here on the east end that says California State University being built across the top of the building. That's what.
Yes, you can. So parking passes will be available today if you need one. You'll see myself or Hema. Hema's not here right now. She's making copies of the correct form so everyone has the correct information. Yes, ma'am. Older Adult Center. Okay. I mentioned the Older Adult Center, OAC. It's kind of like AOC. The AOC. Does anybody know who the AOC is? Yeah. All right. So, yes, Congresswoman out of New York. Well, here, the OAC, the Older Adult Center, is located. Oh, I don't have a map up. For you. The purpose of the Older Adult Center is to address mature adults here on campus. This campus was originally a commuter college, so most people did not stay on campus. Now that we have the new facilities coming up for the housing, the campus is changing its demographics and becoming more of a traditional campus, but we still have the space for older adults, and we still have the resources for older adults. Yes, ma'am. Yes, let's talk about an ID. That's another good question. Thank you. These are the type of questions that we'll go over in detail also with you if you attend new members orientation. You don't have to, but I like to call it OLLI now. So it gives you information that's pertinent now. If anyone would like a student ID, your student ID can be purchased for $5 at the same place that you go to registration. Is the same place, excuse me, not registration, the cashiers, that's where you pay the $5. So your parking pass, your registration, your parking pass and your school ID will take place across the campus in Welch Hall. Your registration here, today is going to be back here, but in general, it's right next door. It's going to be right in the back for you at the end of the class. Yes, ma'am. No, you don't need your student ID to get a parking pass. What you do need your student ID for on campus is to receive benefits, to use the library services, to use, there's checkout for IT or technology checkout, to receive discounts here. New members orientation this Thursday. So all my new members here are my new visitors. I do hope that I get to see them next week. But there is a travel club. I'd like to hear from that travel club. I'm not sure who you are. I need to know who you are. So I need to receive an email or a list or something so I can engage with you again. Because I wasn't aware of the travel club, I've taken the initiative. We are now going to be doing travel again. So, here's my secret. We're going to New York, DC, and Niagara Falls. Ollie goes to Washington, DC. In October, right before elections. Isn't that cool? I have chills. So this is so wonderful. It's not free. But I am giving you something free. I'm bringing in a free informational session. So please, if you are interested in this, Tuesday, March 3rd, the representative from Collect Travel, that's my sister's name in case you didn't forget. And my sister will be back again around Juneteenth area. So you know she's coming back. If you remember her documentary that she was talking about engaging with the children, well, she's now in her master's program in theology, am I correct? Theology. So we're going to hear about what she has to say. Okay, so March the 3rd, getting back to what was at hand. March the 3rd, here, 1206, room 1206, from 10 a.m. to 11:30. At that meeting is free. I can tell you it's a 11 days, 9 nights, I believe, is actually how it works out. The cost is under $3,500 for air. It's going to include all 3 locations, transportation from here. So the good part about this is once you go to the informational session and you find out all of the information, you'll be working directly with them. And you know, there's no more meetings that you have to come to here for that. What we want your travel club to do is to come up with these ideas. So this isn't the only travel that we want to start bringing. We also are hoping that we have other travel, including traveling with our professors, you know, going with them in the summer. They do a lot of research travel, possibly. Did you guys know that you can still do a full rights fellowship? Yes. If you have your, as long as you don't have a doctorate, you can still do a full rights fellowship. So that might be of interest to you.
I'm a member of Omnilor and therefore OLLI. Maybe I should talk about both of those things. I've been facilitating a series of lecture series. I got started by Jeffrey Jones back there in the background, but he had to stop doing that. We did a skeptic's history of the United States, and I will tell you things we learned in that you did not learn in school. And if you think politics is crazy in this country today, it was crazy 100 years ago as well. This year, I'm going to be doing a lecture series. This is recorded lectures with a well-known authority professor on the ancient civilizations of North America. And on this sheet, it's the 5th one listed. Now, you may not think about it, but before the Europeans came to North America, there were a lot of people here. And there were a lot of civilizations with cities and trade and art and all this. Now it was the Stone Age technology. So there were a lot of things they couldn't do. They were just beginning to use metals. The people in South America and even in Central America were a little ahead on that. We do not cover those South American and Central American civilizations. But I think it's a very interesting topic and something you might be interested in. I'm sorry to say it does have a $10 fee on it, but I don't get that. Anyway, that's what I have to say.
Thank you.
The Thrill of Sugar Hill. Does it sound sweet? Does it sound delectable? Well, it's about some of our historic African American actors and where they live in the Adams District. You know, it's near the Santa Monica Freeway now, and there's another story behind that. So we're going to be talking about them when they first started purchasing homes in this area, how they were restricted from purchasing homes, and a very famous court case. So this is going to be in February, but
Right now, you're at February 7th. We understand that it conflicts with tennis. We're doing our best to see about changing the time so that all of you can fit in there because it is on a Friday. So just bear with me a little bit to make sure. Okay? All right. Thank you.
okay, thank you everybody. I hope you.
Tennis ends at what?
Say it again?
Tennis ends at what?
He comes to games.
10:30, 11 o'clock.
10:30. Okay, good, because we don't have tennis. Somebody from tennis come up and talk next.
Not gonna interrupt.
Anyway, so look for the change of day. I love the history of time. I'm sorry, time. And come out and find out some local history of LA, African American history.
So now we have the OLLI Campus Urban Farm. Justin is here with the Office of Sustainability. This is one of my, I love this particular project because I understand that everybody was already doing a farm, but from my understanding with that history, we were pushed off a particular space. Now we're over by plant services, facilitation, and things are really happening there. From my understanding, the things, well, look, we have the experts here.
My name is Justin Elleron. I'm currently a graduate student here at Unveil on track to get my master's in environmental science. I also was raised out here in Carson. I went to Carson High School. I also am working as a sustainability intern here. I'm pretty new, I was hired just last week, but from my understanding, OLLI offers a very dependable and consistent volunteer base for our campus urban farm, as well as other programs on the sustainability front. And Ms. Joyce here. Okay. I'll just repeat it. I'm a sustainability intern working at the urban farm here. I was just hired last week, so I'm pretty new. But from my understanding, OLLI offers a very dependable and consistent volunteer base for the urban farm, as well as other programs on the sustainability front. And Ms. Joyce here is going to talk more about it because she has more experience.
Hello, Joyce Asher. And as an OLLI member, I've been with the urban farm since inception, which was the summer, this past summer. So this is going on the third semester that we've been supporting the farm. I'll tell you, it's been quite an experience. It's a lot of learning. So we support the farm with planting and maintenance and watering and harvesting. We get to eat what we plant too, but sometimes that's a challenge because of the pests. And right now we're having a big problem with the rabbits. The rabbits are eating all our food up. They're smarter than we are, I tell you. Every time we think we got them, they fool us and they get us. So we're having a challenge with that. So you learn pest control, organic gardening, succession planting, and various things to do with we got a special guest.
This is wonderful. Thank you, Teddy, you're talking about the urban farm. Will you stand here and talk and listen about what they're doing with the urban farm? Okay.
Anyway, anybody has a green thumb want to come up and support the farm? Anybody that has a green thumb, I think you have one, please come and support the farm. We meet Wednesdays.
Thank you, Teddy. We'll read over the schedule. Does anybody want a picture with Teddy? Wait, Teddy. So your days are 18 Mondays, January 20, so it begins January 27th. And ends the Mondays through May 25th. And we also put the Fridays in. Fridays, from my understanding, is when they actually sit down and kind of discuss. Is that true, Ms. Asher? Fridays look a little bit different than your Mondays. On Fridays, do you sit down and? Okay, Fridays they do more of the planting. Okay. Wednesdays, they sit down, talk, and learn. So 18 Mondays, beginning January 27th through May 25th, beginning January 31st through May 9th. And please note the difference in the time. This group is really wonderful as far as sending emails and advising everyone. We've upped it to 15, and also from my understanding, you were going to be considered docents. Correct, docents of the farm. So yeah, we're working on the farm. We're OLLI members. This is what's so exciting about the collaboration that we do. OLLI members are going to become docents and actually train anyone who wants to be a part of the urban garden. They'll be trained by OLLI members. So that's wonderful. Speaking of which, also this weekend I will be sending an email. They're looking for judges and for research day, student research day. Again, we're perfect for that. So I will be sending information. That's why it's important to click, because not only am I sending information about what's going on here in OLLI, I'm also doing information that's going on campus that I think that you'll be interested in. Okay? All right, thank you. Thank you. All right, yes, and hey, everybody, when do you graduate? 2021, okay? So we're going to keep an eye on our members' support. They really support our students. I know that I definitely feel supported by you. So thank you. All right, thank you. Taste of OLLI Poetry Fair. I know Ms. Eula is very interested in this. How many years is this going on, Ms. Eula?
I think
okay.
5.
Many years. So this is happening Thursday, April 16th. Last year, they're not here. There was a gentleman, his wife is a member, and his poetry was so great. You can also sign up to read, so it's not only to attend and to hear beautiful, the beautiful language of words, but also to
If you write poetry, you'll have a big voice. So, my name is Angela, and I'm just here to share a little bit with you all about the Speakers Bureau. So we're a small group that goes out to organizations, maybe to churches, to senior resource fairs, to any place where there's a gathering of seniors, because OLLI is such an important organization for us to become involved in, gives us an opportunity to get out of our houses, to be able to learn some new things, to meet some great folks, and to have some snacks, and just to learn some kinds of things that maybe we wouldn't have had an opportunity to learn while we were working or since we are not working. So the volunteers of us just get together, and anytime anybody gives us a suggestion about where there's a gathering of seniors, we contact the place, we ask them whether or not it would be okay for us to come and do a brief presentation about OLLI. So this is how we keep our membership growing, and we get an opportunity to talk to folks who may not have had the opportunity to learn some things about OLLI. So it's a small volunteer group, and we're always looking for new volunteers to come and join us. So we are hoping that you all, after today, when you have found out some other things about OLLI, that you will come and join us. It's a great, and it doesn't take long. You know, we usually, depending on where we go, it's maybe 2 hours. And so gives us an opportunity to talk to some other kinds of folks about OLLI as well. So we're hoping that if anyone is interested, please see one of the volunteers. I'm here, Denise is here, this is Marianne, who's our coordinator, and so any of us can give you some more information and let you know how to sign up. So we're always looking for volunteers. Hopefully you will join us. Thanks so much.
Okay, so we're going to keep moving along. We want to end on time because we're really... Yes, ma'am.
Can I say one more thing?
Of course, yes, ma'am.
Also, if anyone knows any facilities we can go to or anything that's coming up where the Speakers Bureau can, go and get more people to come out, let us know that too. You can get in touch with us today. And we have a meeting on February the 6th here in case you want to come. What time is it, 10?
10.
I think it's at 10 o'clock. So our next meeting will be February the 6th.
Okay. So that's a good branch to talk about our volunteers and what we need to make OLLI work. Now, I'll give myself a pat on the back. I'm awesome. At least that's what my mama tells me. But, you know, but truly, it's, I have a big shoes to fill. You know, our previous director, he did a good job. He did a great job getting our catalogs together. He did a great job. He did such an excellent job. And that's a lot of responsibility. So that's why one of the things that he always talked about is that this is your institution. OSHA Lifelong Learning Institution. It is your program. One thing that I've learned in my toolbox as an NCRP student and organizational development is that I need your support. I can't do it by myself. I'm part-time, even though, you know, you guys remember my daughter's at West Point, right? So, you know, so I still have that thing to travel back and forth there. But I need the volunteers. We have to have the volunteers and the members engaged. If you truly look at it, thanks to Mary Ann, our Speakers Bureau and the fundraising committee is really growing. We are appreciative of our ambassadors. You guys, hey, we haven't stopped to thank the ambassadors too. Thank you, ambassadors, always for getting the class rosters on time, making sure that, you know, even pushing me to make sure that I get materials to our members in time. So that's appreciative. We also have a curriculum committee. And unfortunately, you know, we've had some of our members not able to attend, so we need to enhance that committee so that a lot of this is not taken off of my plate, but it has to be shared. It's a collaboration. You know, we have to do a collaboration here. And if it's your program, then it's important that I know what you need, which is another reason that we put on your desk, ma'am, on your table, form. You know, nobody likes surveys. But we need to be honest, no matter how harsh, no matter how critical. We need to know what it is that you want, what it is that you need to make this a successful program. There is no reason that we should not be as big or bigger than the UCLA, the Fullerton, and the Long Beach. We're growing. There's money here, there's opportunity here, there's opportunity for growth. So I know that if we can put all of that in, somebody calls me a butterfly or a busy bee because I'm always running. But I'm hoping to transfer all of that to someone else or to others. Yeah, it's a big, like I say, look, I have big shoes to fill. I'm a size 10, but you know, I have big shoes to fill. So please, did somebody say, wow? Side joke, I used to get in trouble for sneaking my mother's shoes out. Too. Real trouble. My feet were so wide, I'd sneak her high heels out. She'd catch me, I didn't think how did she know? Well, you spread them out. Okay, I stretched them out, yes. So please take an opportunity to fill this out. We're gonna keep it moving. I see registration is here. So what we're going to do, we're gonna take it over to Mary Ann. You all know Mary Ann. Yes, Mary Ann is wonderful. This is another mentor of mine. You know, you have to ask them to mentor you. You have to ask, and I'll ask, right? Thank you, Mary Ann. Thank you.
Thank you for the warm welcome, and thank you for being here today. As Nicole mentioned, without you as members, OLLI would not exist. So as I look out, I see so many familiar faces, but I also see a lot of new faces, and that's a wonderful thing. So I just really want today to talk to you a little bit about how OLLI receives its income. And I want to share with you why it's important, why we have a fundraising committee and a fundraising campaign called Enrich OLLI. OLLI has 3 funding sources. One of them is a investment income that comes from a $1 million endowment that was given to OLLI about 10 years ago from the Bernard Oshler Foundation. Now that sounds like a lot of money, but the bottom line is we are only allowed on a yearly basis. We get the interest from that money, which is somewhere around in the range of 5 to 6% based on how the investment did the previous year. That's one source of income, and that helps underwrite some of the cost of OLLI. The other source we have right now, which is sort of a temporary source, is a grant that also comes through the Oshler Foundation. And that is a grant that has a term of 18 months. It's renewable 3 times. We are currently in the 2nd cycle of that grant. So we have an opportunity to renew it 1 more time. The income from that is $25,000, and we are currently in the grant cycle that runs from May 1st of 2019 through October 31st of this year. We will have an opportunity to apply 1 more time, but after that, we will no longer have that income. The 3rd source is California State University. It is the College of Extended and International Education. We get tons of in-kind support, which includes the facilities, it includes printing services. It comes with an array. They pay for the facilities management, the custodian, the lighting. That totals somewhere around in-kind $174,000 a year. Those are the sources of income for OLLI. In order to keep the program working and in order to be able to apply for another grant, we have to meet certain requirements. Those requirements include making sure that we grow membership. At the end of the first grant cycle, we had 570 members. Our goal for this grant cycle was a 10% increase to 627 members. So we need your help. We need you to invite your friends. We need you to bring them to an OLLI class, even as an observer if they can, or get them involved in OLLI. That was the reason we formed the Speakers Bureau, so that we could grow membership, get out into the community, and really see OLLI expand. We are the smallest OLLI university program at any university. So we have lots of opportunities to grow, but we need your help. We need to get the word out there to seniors. The other requirement of the grant is that we raise money. The Bernard Oshler Foundation does not want us not to be self-sufficient. Their goal is not to fund us for the rest of OLLI's life, but to have us be self-sufficient. Last year, at the end of the grant cycle, we raised about $16,500. A good portion of that came from one corporation. So about half of it came from OLLI members and the other half from a corporation. This year, our requirement is $18,000, and today we sit at $2,800 raised. So we have a substantial way to go to make our goals and be able to apply for the 3rd grant for that cycle. So there's a lot involved in funding OLLI. We're very fortunate to have OLLI in our community. And so I ask you, if you can, to please join me and many other members who have made a gift to OLLI and make your gift. You can make it today. We're happy to be here and accept your check. The other way you can make it is to go online. We also invite you to join the Speakers Bureau Committee, to join the Fundraising Committee, and to help us through the Fundraising Committee. We don't ask people for money. We thank them and we share with them the difference their money has made. In the fall semester, we were able to add 10 classes because of the extra funding. Anything raised through the Enrich OLLI program comes directly back to OLLI. It does not go to underwrite cost. It comes back in the way of new and additional programming. So I will be here after. Please feel free to ask me any questions. Dean McNutt will be conducting a town hall during this semester that will be open to everybody, so you can come and ask more detailed questions and hear more about OLLI and the way it is funded and the expenses of OLLI. So I invite you to look for that. You'll get an email, and we invite you to please come and participate, because again, OLLI can be only as good as you make it. Yes, I will be up front or around after for quite a while, please. Yes?
Just a real quick question. The fees that are collected for the classes and for registration, does it go back to OLLI or does it go to the university? And about how much?
They go to help offset the operating cost. It's really a very small percentage, and our goal is to keep the registration fee reasonable so that almost every senior can participate.
So the registration fee as well as the class, individual class fees, will go back to offset the cost of the university?
The cost of running OLLI, the expenses.
And about how much is that?
That is, I believe it came to $16,000 last year based on 550 members. That's what we based an estimate on.
Yeah, that's for the registration only.
That's the $30 registration. All of these questions will be addressed at the town hall meeting, so again, watch for that. And just on a final note, I want to invite two of our OLLI members up. We have Margie Mosby is here and Olivia Payne-Tinson, and they're both going to come up and just sort of tag team and share with you why OLLI is important to them.
My name is Olivia Payne-Tinson, and I joined OLLI because of one of the ambassadors, and she also got up to speak about the TED Talks. She was talking about everything she was doing, and I was like, whoo, that sounds fun, that sounds fun. So that's how I ended up coming. I've enjoyed it. 2 weeks ago, almost, Margie and I, we got a chance to talk to a group. We're with the Los Angeles Soul Steppers, which is an AARP group. One person I know, two, okay. So we several people came. Thank you guys for coming. So what we stated, we got people to come. So next.
My name is Margie Mosby, and my purpose for joining OLLI is I've seen it, heard about it, but had not checked into it. And what happened, I heard about the Juneteenth, a cultural event, which caught my attention, and I tried to get in, only to find out it was full. So I said, okay, the next year, I'll try it. What I'll do, when they have open house, I'll come to it. I missed that one. This past year, I was able to join in to become a part of it, also find out what classes were offered, and I found that I enjoyed quite a few classes. The Juneteenth event was phenomenal. It was a heritage that each and every one could be a part of or find out more knowledge of. The luncheon was great. There was gifts. I want a quilt, but the lady won't give it to me. with finding out and knowing more about OLLI, I told several people, invited several people. In fact, several people are here today. And again, Olivia and I did AARP, Soul Steppers, and I welcome you, if you haven't joined, to consider joining. Each and every year is something different, so it's not the same thing, but it's different. And we have new classes today too. This house is
You know I'm coming to say something about the quilts. Everybody wants a quilt. Well, we have a new member who is also a quilter. Miss Nicole Gravett in the back, and she's going to donate a quilt this year also. Maybe 2, no, maybe 3. But I will tell you, I'm going to donate another quilt this year, and it will be the Underground Railroad quilt. But unfortunately, I will not be here for the Juneteenth this year. So someone else will be handling it, prizes, the whatever, but it still should be just as good as ever. And remember, we do take donations for Juneteenth. It can't happen without you. So remember that. You can donate at any time. Don't wait until that date.
Teddy the Toro was here and we want to get a group picture. What is so exciting is, I told you about the PSAs that we're going to be doing, right? The public service announcements. We're doing public service announcements. Thank you. We're collaborating with Communications, the Film and Television class. It's an undergraduate class. We're collaborating with 3 classes where we're their actual project. So again, see how we are important to the university. They need practical experience. And why not take a true nonprofit organization who has something to say? You have something to say? Yes, sir. A fencing class? Yes. Tennis class? Mr. Reeves, you can come up and say something about tennis class. Okay. We will have 2 presentations, but we have to do this quickly because Teddy the Toro is leaving. The dean is back here so he can do a picture with us. We want a group picture. I want to use this as part of the public service announcement, which I'm hoping that some of our OLLI members will be a participant of that. So that casting call class was really good. Okay. All right. So tennis. I'll let tennis come up while Joyce sets it up, and then all right. Then we're going to be doing a picture. So again, the registration, and we're ending on time. Did anybody notice that? Right here, please make sure that you fill out your survey. I'm asking for honesty. I need to know what you're thinking. I can handle it, I'm tough. We're accepting donations today. So if there's a particular project that you want the donations to go to, write it on the check so that we know. So if it is for Juneteenth, then make sure that we're seeing it. If you want to do it for a lecture, say that. Put that information, where you'd like to see your OLLI dollars at. So we need your information and feedback. Here's tennis. 1 minute.
Okay, all those who are in tennis, please stand. Raise your hand.
Raise your hand, tennis group.
All right.
Look at that.
We have at least 30 people in tennis. Okay? And it's all kinds of people, beginners, people who've been playing for a little while. No experts, but we all have a good time. It's social tennis. We do just as much social as we do tennis. So we also do other things as a tennis group. We go on trips. They go on far trips. Some of the people in tennis have gone to China. We've been to Paris. So and they're talking about going to other places, like some of the other opens, like Australia or Europe. Yeah, they went to New York. They went to the New York Open, U.S. Open in New York. But anyway, everybody's invited to join tennis. We meet Tuesdays. Right now it's 8:30 to 10:30, but depending on how hot and cold it is, it'll move up a half an hour or not. But right now it's 8:30 to 10:30, and it's Tuesdays and Fridays. Also, all those in the tennis group, please see Elaine Schneider, and give her your phone number and your message number, your cell phone number. so that when we have places like, things like today, when we had to cancel tennis, we'll try to get that message out to everybody in the tennis group to know that they don't have to play today.
I'm sorry, I'm doing you like they do the Oscars. I'm pushing them out like they do the Oscars.
Wear these in tennis too.
Okay, our last presentation, Joy's going to keep it short for us. She has a couple of slides, and then we'll all do a group picture. You can all begin registration, and we'll wrap it up.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much. Maybe it's good that I'm going last, that you've already eaten, and so I'm going to be talking about information again, but it's going to be better this time. I have a lot more information, and if you want to be around OLLI for another 20 years, you better listen. Because I have a lot to say about this subject, because that's what's happening. It's a secret killer, and it's endemic, and we probably all increased it with our diet today. And what is aging? Accumulation of changes over time. And physiological aging, physiological, not just your chronological, but what's going on inside of you, is the greatest risk factor for most human diseases and conditions. And these are all the chronic diseases, not all of them, just some of them: diabetes, atherosclerosis, osteoarthritis, Alzheimer's, etc. And these diseases accelerate our aging. Okay? So I just put up a group of things, and these are I call them the protagonists that can turn into antagonists, and those are macrophages, and they're in the body, and they do their cleanup, and they help unless you abuse them, and the microglia are in the brain. Now this book, The Angel and the Assassin, just came out within the last 2 days. I haven't read it, but I bought it, because it's all about this tiny brain cell that changed the course of medicine. It's all about these microglia in your brain and what they do. All right, I'm so anxious to read it and to share that with you. But it's all the same process that goes on. And those are some of the inflammatory culprits, and we'll talk about all of those. And these are all the other things we're going to talk about: what you shouldn't eat, or maybe you should eat, about fasting, and about other things like meditation. That helps a lot if you're stressed out. And I just want to end with this. Isn't that wonderful? Isn't that a sign of OLLI America? OLLI America. After 2 years, he was returned. Thank you.
April 29th. The name of Joy's class, you'll find it, Inflammation, Inflammaging Revisited. All right. OLLI More